Alright, and we are back for round 3. So we're here for the final of Australian Masters 2020. With me today, I've got the beautiful Ben Warrior, sporting a red-hot beard for the stream. How you going, Ben?
Yeah, pretty good, mate.
Yeah,
Keen
good.
to see this game.
Yeah, so interesting final game. We've got Liam Hackett on the Possessed against Matt Morozoli with the Demons and Chaos. So it's Chaos versus Chaos. The mission is, I believe it's Retrieval mission.
It is Retrieval.
So Hammer and Anvil, old school. Both players have selected exactly the same secondaries. While we stand, we fight. Minimize losses and raise the banners. Both players, if they wish, can sit at their deployment zone and pretty much get 90 points.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interactive game.
Yeah, so, you know, really interesting play by both sides. I think they picked it pretty well in the sense that if they play these secondaries and their opponent does nothing, they will just score. So we'll see how this plays. As boring as this may look, I think there'll be some real intricacy. What are you thinking here, Ben?
Yeah, so I mean, the while we stand for Liam is obviously the 3 possessed units. For Solid, it would be what, the 2 Terminator units and the lock? Is that right?
Probably the keepers and the lock. I'm not sure.
Well, the Terminators are...
Maybe the termies. I'll bring the list up and I'll figure it out. But yeah, really interesting. Banners, of course, both armies do that reasonably well. How many infantry units does Solly have? He might not be deep striking his.
I think first turn's going to decide this, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because
so
whoever goes second can rush to get that 15 at the end.
Yeah, so the 2 Terminator units and the Lord of Change. And yes, that's exactly right. You know, whoever goes second gets that 15. So, yeah, this is going to be really exciting for anyone joining us. If you have any questions, please pop it in the chat. This event and this stream is sponsored by Knights of Dice, who make some awesome terrain. Sponsored by Smoky Pastures, who's running the catering for the weekend at the Open. Best Coast Bearings, who have been lovely enough to open up the event as a sponsored event and give public viewing to the list for today's Masters and for the weekend's Open, which is a 3-day, 8-round event. Dragon Lane, who's a sponsor of the channel, and the Normal Blokes 40k podcast, a podcast dedicated to improving the competitive 40k experience, which I'm a part of. Now, Ben, if you were in these players' shoes, what would you want going for you?
Definitely second turn. I mean, it's a pretty even everything, really. I think Liam's like the big L in the bottom of Liam's. So Liam's on the left here, guys. Solly's on the right. Hammer and Anvil deployment, of course. So the big blue L in the bottom left is slightly further forward, and they don't have bases, so you can hide in them. So that's probably a bonus for Liam. And the way that the center ruin is angled just means that he's closer to his objective down the bottom.
That's it, yep.
As I say, I think it's probably going to come down to like 2 or 3 points, and it's going to be who gets that second turn and how banners go.
That's it. Yeah.
I think it's whoever goes first is can't just sit back. I think they're going to need to push up one side of the board.
100%. I mean,
and I think it depends how early they realise that, which they're both great players, so they probably already have.
Yeah, they probably realise that whoever's going first needs to freaking send it.
Needs to push it to get at least one objective.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we're seeing, I know at the start of 9th we saw this kind of archetype where a lot of people gravitated towards armies like, let's say, the Dark Angels or the Custodes, armies that could just sit in their own zone and do their own thing. And now we're seeing 2 armies that can be very aggressive, picking this, picking ways they can do this. So really cool. Really cool to see what goes on. Ronjan K in chat. I think that's Lockie Gordon, but mate, you'll be holding on to mine, don't worry. Yeah, so we're seeing Solly deploying the Beast. It looks like he's got the Keepers there.
Liam's character's in that central objective as well.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, Liam, I'm not sure if he's deployed any Possessed yet. There's just models all over the board, so it's pretty early on. So Ben, you're playing in the Open.
Yep.
In the weekend. What are you aiming for?
I'd like to go 7-1.
I'd like to go undefeated.
I'd like to go 7-1, but I think a 6-2 is probably more realistic.
Yes. Yeah, I'm aiming for that. I'll be happy with a 5-3. I'd like to push higher for 6-2, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, every 8-round event I've gone one better. So I started at 5-3 at my first CanCon, and then 6-2 last year. So
Yep.
This is the CanCon replacement, so I'd like to at least not go backwards.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I was 5-3 last time, so I'll see if I can push that 6-2. But yeah, Ducky, that's it. The secondary picks. This is. I hope you guys have got a drink ready for you at home. We'll try and make this as enticing and as interesting as we can. But the players might do that for us, Ben. You know, whoever goes first might just send all their units forward and really threaten. So.
See, I think they both want second turn. I think
That's it.
I think if Liam gets first, it's they both want second, but it's less worse for Liam if he gets first.
Yes, yeah.
Because Soli really struggles to kill the possessed.
Yeah, Liam definitely has a bit more kill power there, which is very handy. And also Liam has that reach where he can stay out of deny range of the lock, send warp time a unit in, send it in, and hit something quite hard. The interesting thing is both of these lists, Ben, don't have a huge amount of obsec. They're relying on raw power of killing stuff off objectives to claim them. Yeah. So yeah, that's really interesting. Any questions in chat? You know, shout out, pop a message in there, and we'll answer them.
Well, all their obstacle stuff as well is if they're moving that forward, they're going to be sacrificing their minimised losses because they're all the small 10-man cultist units and demon units.
Well, that's it. You know, that's it. Minimised losses are secondary being, you know, when you have units in your army, you divide that, you know, into percent, I guess. If you finish the game with 75% of your units alive, you get 15. If you finish the game with 50% or more, but less than 75, you get 10. And I think it's 25 or more, you get 5. So, yeah,
it's every 25.
Every 25. So, you know, if you're giving up little obsec units, it gets really hard to play this game with that secondary.
So I think they've both got 12 units as well. Well, I know Liam's got 12 units.
So I see. So it's 4. They got to kill 4 each.
Yeah.
Then.
So Soli's got what, the 3 greater demons, the Nurglings, the demonettes.
Get it up, yeah.
Cultists, Tuned Determines, and the characters. Soli's got 9. So Soli loses 3 units.
Yeah, well, let's see. But yeah, it's really interesting. I think this mission is prone to have these situations, but then it really puts the onus on players, and we're gonna really see, guys, how much the second turn change on primary affects this. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. I was talking to Brian and Liam before. I think the 2 changes, so they're not being able to pick, and the 15. Is too much swinging it the other way.
Yeah, and
I think one of them would have been fine, but I think it's too much swinging it to second.
That's it.
Because everyone wanted to go first. Now everyone wants to go second. There's no mid ground.
Yes, and Ducky's also said in chat the secondaries sort of give an incentive, you know, to hit hard and get stuff, like remove banners and things like that. So it'll be interesting what they do.
Any idea how to fix that echo?
Sorry. Hey guys in chat, if it's still echoing on Ben's mic, Ben, just talk for a bit. Just let us know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Soli does with the Terminators as well, like if they go on Deep Strike, or if they start on the board.
Alright, a little. So I'm just looking through the list.
I'll lean away from Denise.
So yeah, both units look like both lists look like they have 12 units. So they'll be needing to kill 4 units to get the minimized losses below a certain level. So this is interesting. Liam could actually play a game where he just sends the whole army forward because Soli has no shooting. So if Liam pushes a bit forward.
No consequential shooting anyway. Like it's got the storm bolters, but that won't touch possessed in the cover save.
That's it. Yeah. So the storm bolters, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you do have shooting, but yeah, nothing consequential. And if the Terminators are, you know, in deep strike, I'm not sure if they are. It doesn't look like the deployment step's been done yet. But
no, he's got the keeper up on the top right.
Yeah. Like imagine if Liam shoots out, gets that keeper. You know. So I'm measuring that out now.
Yeah, I think the mission definitely favors Liam because he can go out like.
Yep.
Because like Soli's while we stand, it's only 10 Terminators is not actually that hard for the possessed to kill because there's still only 2 wound Terminators because they're not marine Terminators.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Liam can go 2 damage, so unit of possessed will pick up a unit of Terminators.
Yeah.
So he sacrifices one while he's standing for potentially getting both units of Terminators. Like if he rolls the 5 attacks with that single unit possessed, gets 10 into each, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, winning on 2s, rerolling 1s.
Yes.
Like that'll pick up the 20 Terminators. Because they're the Terminators going down now in the middle objective for Soli.
Great placement by Soli there. It's got range on both of those objectives if Liam comes in. Also away from the keepers, which is nice. Yu Chen asking how are they counting those terrain features. The one at the top you're seeing has been counted as a crater, and the one at the bottom has been counted as a forest. Braden, what makes the Possessed so good? Well, look,
everything.
Yeah, so Word Bearers Possessed have some strats. They've got a strat to get damage 2. They've also got a strat to get exploding 5s for
that's the next one.
5s for Death of False Emperor, which doesn't apply here. Sorry, that's with the icon, isn't it?
Yeah, exploding 5s to wound.
Yeah, and then
from Celeste as well.
Celeste has a demon strat to give an aura to Slaanesh demons to exploding 5s to wound.
Everything. It just because you got prescience for +1 to hit. You've got the other psychic power from the Master of Possessed for reroll 1s to hit and wound.
Yep.
It's strength 6 near Celeste because +1 to. And he's got the +1 to wound prayer, and he can vets as well. So even if you're neg 1 to wound like the keepers are, he'll still be able to get +1 to wound.
Yeah, that's
net movement.
Yes.
It's 2 plus D3 attacks with a reroll on the charge. If
he's also got a ability to give them extra attack on top of that, right? Is there a relic? No, not on this list.
Not on this list.
So yeah, there's a way to get them to 5 attacks, which is pretty crazy.
It's the Warlord trait. So it's 1 for the charge, or 1 for Hateful Assault, 1 for the Warlord, and then you D3. So
yes,
it's 5.
That's right.
And he has a power for reroll that dice.
Yes, that's it. You know, and the other thing.
And Cursed Earth.
Yeah, and Cursed Earth to give them 4 up invo. He give them 5 up Feel No Pain with Delightful Agonies.
And 6 up Feel No Pain from Celeste.
From Celeste as well, yeah.
Second and neg 1 to hit prayer as well.
Yes, the neg 1 to hit prayer, which is a big one. But on top of that, lost my
Advance and Charge.
Advance and Charge off Celeste, which is good, and a Warp Time from Word Bearer Sorcerer that pretty much always goes off.
Yep.
Alright, Liam lost the roll, and he's going second. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, we'll see what Soli does.
So it looks like we got 1 unit of Terminators in reserve?
Yeah, it looks like 1 might be in reserve.
Oh, what's next to the beasts down in the bottom right hand corner?
It could be
Nurglings?
It could be as Nurglings, man. Yeah, it looks obviously you don't want to leave Nurglings out, so yep. So we got some infantry moving forward. Looks like could be
Demonettes.
The Demonettes putting banners up. Now that must be really tempting for Liam to just shoot out. Because I don't, aside from the Terminators, I don't see many other infantry on that side.
No, but then...
So if Liam shoots out, kills those Demonettes, he can actually stick on that side of the board, not lose that unit because the firepower's not there to kill it, get a 15 primary, remove a banner, and back off.
Yeah. Do you reckon, though, that the 10-man Terminator unit that's there with the 2 Greater Demons, potential for, like, maybe not completely killing you like Possessed, but, like, making it inconsequential?
Even if it's inconsequential, though, Ben, it doesn't really matter. Because next turn he just pulls it back behind his line, gets another unit in his place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Liam takes this, not the bait, but takes this hit. So, because I can't see many other infantry models on that top right side. The Terminators will at least...
models coming down the bottom as well, by
the
hand there.
Yeah, so the Terminators will at least take 2 turns to put a banner up. So that's a turn 3 banner.
Yeah.
That's a long time. And we see now the Beast pushing up to one side. So really, really interesting.
Well, as we said, whoever's go first almost, because it's so even, if whoever go first almost has to make that push.
Yeah, that's it, you know. Soli, he clearly, Soli knows what he's doing. He's a good player. He understands he can't be that passive. So what he's got there, he's got some beasts front lining on the bottom objective, and he snuck some infantry models behind to put up a banner. Really smart play there. Really smart play. I'm just going to check our internet. I'll be back in just a second.
Oh, I should get a bit of buffering.
Nah, Luke's phone's here. Alright, just confirming the Wi-Fi's here. So yeah, an interesting move by there, Soli.
Because of the beasts, if you warp surge the beasts, they're like what, 5 wounds each,
T5.
5 up feel no pain. Like that might survive possessed. Like the 10 of them if Liam
Yeah,
splits.
you know what it is. Though the big thing there would be if he can kill the obsec on the objective. So, I'm really interested.
Yeah, it looks like Sol is at least trying to make a game of this, not just sitting back and
Yeah.
going, all right, we'll just draw.
Yeah, that's it.
Where's our second keeper's down the bottom, just off screen?
Oh, yep. You can just see it off the screen there. Cool.
Because the keeper will pick up 3 or 4 possessed.
It will. They have what, like
7
10,
attacks.
7, yeah.
Hitting on
Attacks, hitting on
twos, winning on
twos.
twos.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
If Liam doesn't get that aura 4 up off.
Then the possessed pick it up.
Yeah, it's funny because it's actually like Liam wants to fail the power. When it's really clutch, he wants to fail the power because it can't be denied then. Like if he rolls a 7, so he's got an almost 50% chance of denying it
100%.
if he's in range. Whereas the strat, you just can't.
Yeah, you just want to fail it and then pay the CP to have it go off,
Take the
that's for
wound.
sure. Yeah, so moving the lock into that position is quite important, you know, limits where Liam can go with the Sork.
Yeah, because that's probably the one thing the possessed can't kill with the neg 1 damage.
Oh, I don't think they can, yeah. I don't think they can at all. But on top of that, I don't know why he'd go for it. You'd rather get your minimized losses points off other stuff, won't you? Yeah.
Looks like we've got some psychic powers happening, some possessed off the top unit being taken.
Yeah. The best thing ever would be Liam getting a possessed unit into those termies. Because that's obviously a kill and a while we stand, and you can just tag stuff, and the beasts don't do much to the possessed with the feel no pain, right? So.
Yeah. Because with the rod, so the lock obviously has the rod for the longer range. Or is that about 8? That's longer than 18 inches, surely.
Maybe, man. The objective is just outside the deployment zone, so maybe. Yep, Solish has called his turn.
Nice and quick.
Yep, nice and quick. We'll...
Killed 2 possessed, I think. He's 3% of the way there.
So Ben, who are your favourites for the Open on the weekend?
Like top 3, top 5?
Well, let's go factions. What factions do you think will do well and present a lot in the top 10? And who do you think will make the top 5?
I think it'll be a mix of Necrons, Harlequins, Marines, and Chaos.
Yep.
Specifically Black Templars and Deathwatch.
Okay, cool.
And top 5, and I kind of have to back my boy here. So Liam, not in any particular order. Liam, Martino, Soli. I'll give it the top 3. I think top 5 is getting a bit. They're my top 3.
Yeah,
but it's difficult because like with the number of players we've got, which anywhere between 90 and 120. Like from round 4 onwards, you're in your top.
It's a shark tank, isn't it? Yeah, it's a real shark tank.
Like you could get lucky and get a bunny run day 1. But round 4, you're playing 4, 5, 6. If you keep winning, you're playing high level players.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
So they start like if you catch each other and knock each other out, like.
But the worst thing that could happen is one of those players catch a top dog in the first 2 rounds, right?
Yeah. So like if I'd put Brian in the top 5.
Yep.
But if he cops Liam round 3 or 4,
it just falls on its head, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's so mission dependent as well, this edition.
Like I'd put you in the top 5 or 6 as well.
Thanks, man.
Like, but again, if you cop Liam
if I cop
or
Liam,
Martino
or
like,
it's so hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So hard. Yeah, I'm really keen to see how these archetypes do.
The thing about Liam's list is he's got the volume, but the strats to make it quality. Like it doesn't matter that you're only strength 5 or strength 6 when you've got 3 ways of getting +1 to wound.
Yep. So Liam's just measured out that deny range of the lock. He's out of the deny range, so which is good. So he's definitely in the driver's seat here. He's he's walling
coming out
off
with all 3 units.
Sorry?
He's moving out with all 3
Yes,
units.
that's it, and if you see what he's doing, he's body blocking all the objectives. He's body blocking them all out, so Soli can't physically just snag them with demonets and stuff. He's got to physically bully those big units off the objectives.
I mean, if he has got the unit of Terminators in reserve, how much damage does that do to a unit of Possessed with a 4-up? So it's 30 attacks, hitting on 2s if you press against it, wounding on 4s with a reroll.
Is that in combat?
Yeah, because they've got Lightning Claws. You're on your 4-up invo. So it's 25 hits.
And let's say like 20 saves, fails
10
that,
kills 5.
Well, not and then a feel no pain, so it kills like 4.
Yeah.
And the possessed punch the whole unit out.
Yeah.
Because the possessed will have, let's say, 10 of them remaining, 40 attacks.
Be interesting to see how this Liam's list hold up if Chaos Space Marine Possessed drop to 10 like Death Guard have 10-man units.
That's correct. Yeah.
But Liam's list fault it doesn't exist because you can't get 60 possessed. It would cut it in half. Because they're all 3.
Lee Abbey. Can Liam break the Soli curse? Find out today on soon to be Baldhammer TM.
We do use his forehead to measure 6 inches.
Yeah. I love it. His forehead is like the Death Guard contagion aura. Every CanCon, mate, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We're on turn 4 now.
Yep. And he's used the Stagger Power to get the extra 3-inch range.
Yeah. He's got the Vox on, mate.
Yeah. It's got the bells from the Death Shroud.
Yeah. We can laugh at Liam because he's our friend, right?
Oh, he's technically my husband. So.
Yeah, yeah. He's your hobby trip husband.
No, we're actually married.
You're actually married.
Yeah,
okay.
It's official. I've not told Nicole yet.
You haven't told Nicole.
No.
He hasn't told them. They're gonna get a rude awakening shortly.
M likes me more than Liam anyway.
Yeah. All right. So look, with all those sticky notes, looks like powers are going off. Looks like strats are going off.
Can't really tell which ones are which though. Liam failed something though.
He failed one of the agonies.
I might go for a quick recon and see what's on what.
Of course. So we're seeing two Team Australia WTC players duking it out for the final. Definitely Ben Warrior, mate. You can hear it in his voice.
Yeah, so we've got Cursed Earth by Celeste, so it's procking on all the units.
Yep.
Down the bottom,
Cursed Earth by the Master of Possession.
Yeah,
yeah, cool.
Just it's the bit of paper near Celeste because Celeste's got that bigger base. Cursed Earth, neg 1 to hit prayer on the unit down the bottom.
Yep, cool.
And 5 up Feel No Pain on the top unit, and then obviously the middle unit's behind cover, so it can't be seen.
Hmm. So Abby's saying you look a lot like Mansky, mate.
He's a good-looking bloke.
Yeah, take that as a compliment. It's a good-looking beard. It's pretty red though.
Captain Redbeard. Yeah, very, very close to shaving it off with the masks.
Yeah, dude, you on the plane, your mask was like here, and then you had all this like fluff underneath it. Yeah. I have to wear a mask at work every day, and I find because of my beard, it like fogs up my glasses so much because the air can't go down. It sucks.
And then you take the mask off, and it's just wet.
Yeah, it's tragic. It's tragic.
Just from your own breath. So Soli scored 10.
Yeah, makes sense.
And 3 for banners.
Yep, makes sense. What a game. What a mighty good game.
So he must have moved some cultists out on that bottom objective.
Yeah, you can see a trail of demonettes or something there, and then you got the termies on that unit there. I'm really interested to see if Liam would shoot a unit of Possess right in the middle there. And take the termies who are while we stand.
Yeah.
Because that is a massive swing, because then Soli can't capitalize, and Liam also has bottom of turn.
Yeah, it also means that Soli has to deal with that unit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it.
Like, he has to drop. It would force the drop of the Terminators almost on his board edge, because Liam could hold the middle there as well.
And here's the thing: it could also force the if he hits and charges those termies, pushes out. He could also force those Terminators to drop right in the back.
Yeah.
You know, of Matt's own deployment zone. So I'm really interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of beasts. They just don't kill anything.
Hmm.
And they're obsec. If they're obsec, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I might be biased as a obsec Necron player though.
All right, I think. Was that Soli having a turn? Or
Yeah, he's shuffling some stuff. They were just talking about what units are actually what for Liam's army, so Soli knows what he's doing.
I see. Yep.
It's so dumb that +1 damage is 1 CP for 20 possessed.
Oh wow, yeah. Insanity.
So dumb.
Yeah, I'm really keen to see if Liam actually shoots out this turn. Because if he sets up where he can warp time and go without being denied, it could be such a swing in his favour. And then him still having the bottom of turn.
I think he needs to be careful though, because if he does that and it goes poorly for him, like if he splits and tries to kill too much, and doesn't do enough, it could go bad. It could backfire.
It actually looks like Soli in the middle objective where there's 10 Terminators. There's either a character or some Nurglings around that as well. So if he has obsec there, it's null and void. Like he won't be able to get there.
Yeah, you're right. What you said at the start, like it's 2 relatively aggressive armies that have taken 3 very defensive secondaries.
Yeah.
Which is quite. It's very smart in terms of like Soli, because Liam doesn't want to overextend. Come on, guys, do something.
Well, we actually had a pretty good discussion, mate. So, yeah.
They've already pointed up what's the most likely outcome from this game.
Oh, have they? Okay.
And Matt loses by 5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's
15 primary, 10 5, right?
Yeah.
So Matt's like, I'm not sure there's literally anything I can do. Because, of course, they didn't know the secondaries they picked against each other before they picked them.
Yeah.
As soon as they unveiled it, they're like, so you're going to stand there and do nothing, I'm going to stand there and do nothing.
And then Liam's going to go turn 5.
Liam's got the second turn, he's going to win. He's going to sling 1 unit, take 1 unit off, and the game's over. What Matt is underestimating is that if he gets all his psychics and all his shooting on one side, he can easily shoot out 5 possessed.
Yeah.
And start fucking with his
Beasts,
primary.
yeah.
But he's in a bad position to do it from where he is. So.
Well, it's interesting because that little fence, I'm not sure if the viewers can see,
It's a barricade.
that little barricade or whatever, they're calling that dense.
Yeah.
It's got dense. So that really hampers the shooting of those Terminators. Yeah.
He's got shooting termies as well. This is the start of his turn 2. He should bomb the other one in and just start doubling down, shooting termies and all his smites.
Yep.
One, bang,
That's
bang,
it.
bang, bang.
Yeah.
Just keep fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Because am I mistaken? The bottom unit of Possessed doesn't look like it's got anything in cover.
No, 0 cover.
Yeah.
If the termies were down there, we were doing the court, that's 100% where he should go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So we've got the Brains Trust over here. We've got Brian Lakeland and Adam Camilleri joining us in the stream room. It's like and Chelsea. It's Chelsea Map. It's like the General's table right now. So yeah, what a game. What a game. This is Australian 40K, ladies and gentlemen.
This is KG top table chess master shit.
Yeah.
If either one of them had taken anything different on the secondaries, that player probably would have lost.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Exactly what they took. That was the guys who get exposed.
Yep.
But taking what they take it means we have a mirror.
Yep.
Neither one can do anything that gets committed by either player is going to get gold.
Yep.
And also, it's because if this was Dawn of War, it'd be a lot easier to engage.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be a lot easier to commit units of terms into one unit.
Yep. Exactly.
Scary.
Yeah. My personal view is if Liam shoots that middle unit out and just cripples Soli's termies, kills them all, it can be really impactful. Really impactful.
Well,
But
it depends. Like if Soli drops his Terminators on the right hand side of his build, the central ruin 9 inches away from the center unit, but where they can see that top unit,
Yeah.
shoots the top unit and then auto charges into the possessed unit to slow Liam down.
It could, but what if he kills those termies and the 3 Nurglings there, right? You wrap up the Nurglings. So
Yeah.
if he wants to get shot, he's having to desperate breakout, which
but-
means he loses the obsec and loses the banner.
But this is what I'm like. If
Yeah.
what I'm saying now is because it's obviously Soli's turn. If Soli brings the Terminators down, and both his Terminators shoot that top unit, and then the Terminators charge into the middle unit, that can slow Liam down.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Sally Fort. He's gonna do it, Lee. He's gonna do it.
I believe the terrain's Knights of Dice. Is that right?
No, so this is 3D printed terrain by the organisers, I believe.
No, this stuff's.
Or is it Knights of
not-
Dice?
No, I think it's Knights of Dice.
Oh, awesome. Good stuff, Knights of Dice.
I
Sponsoring the event.
Yeah, it's pretty good terrain.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a good mix of ruins with and without bases, so it's really cool.
So I don't think we play it right in Queensland. I think there should be some that you can see.
I
Into and
agree.
out of?
I agree. Yeah, it's a good mix.
It hasn't really affected it that much.
Yeah.
Because we moved the ones with the no bases into all the deployments.
Yeah.
We may have fixed it, but
Yeah. Brian, do you want to hop on stream for a bit? Yeah, cool. Come and chat with Benny. Get some interesting viewpoints on this game.
The Normal Blokes sub-in podcast.
man, I'm too tired. There goes.
So we've got more beasts moving up down the bottom.
Yeah.
It's an interesting play.
I'm
As I
kinda
say, I
curious.
think the beasts are probably one of the few things in like 10 beasts if Liam splits and rolls badly with his D3 attacks.
Mm.
The beasts could survive. Because they're 25 wounds if you warp surge one of the units.
Yeah. Well, I guess the main concern with that is because Liam can buff the 2 damage.
Yeah, but then they've got the 5 that feel no pain, so like
Yeah. I don't know, just with enough attacks, like I guess you can't really risk it with a.
yeah, but he's
D3
strung
roll.
back because I think he's got that unit has 5 under his central little tower thing behind his characters, so you've got quite a big string back there.
Okay.
So I don't think he'd
Might
get
be
the
able to
full.
limit it. Mm.
I mean, if he warp times it, I guess.
So it's gonna-
And he can go on the second unit of Terminators,
Mm.
looking like they're dropping onto the objective.
Yeah. Yes, I think you're right. He's trying to hit that unit as hard as he can.
So Brian, you've had 2 pretty hard games so far today. How,
Yeah.
how you feeling about another 8?
Oh,
over the
look,
next 3
I'm
days?
buggered. I'm buggered after 2. But I'm hoping that I've got a few easier games. Not playing some of the top players in the country.
Brian versus Martino round 1.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. That's how you submarine. You go down pretty hard the first round, and
So
then you
lose
come
the
all
first
the way back up.
game and then 7.
Yep, 7 wins,
Yeah.
and then you go the 7-1, which is kind of the sweet spot. That's what you
It's
want.
like a. I mean,
Yep.
you can win it. You can technically win this event 7-1.
Yep, that's all part of the plan.
Who
Actually,
would
what did we
your-
say it was yesterday? The Ben effect.
The Bonspiracy.
Yep,
The
Bonspiracy.
So what's going on? We've got
What's
some
he
more
doing?
psychic powers flying around, I think.
Yep. So we got a question. Is it so those Cornish L-shaped terrain touch the base?
Yeah, so
Yes.
the bottom right, so the kind of U where Liam's head is now, and then
Mm.
the top left have full bases, so you can't be inside them and not be seen. But the 2 bigger L's, the bottom left and the top right, they've got bases that are just within just the walls, so you can be under the first floor and be almost touching the wall and not be seen.
Yeah.
So it looks like a pretty effective psychic
Yeah.
phase against that top unit. Yeah, so the tournament has that sort of setup for all the tables in terms of a couple without bases, a couple with bases. So it's a nice variety and makes sure you think about what you got to do.
Yeah, it's good. Gives you a decent spread, so that way you're not, either just trying to hide between all terrain and everything. You've actually got to plan it out.
And then obviously the big central ruin is
Yeah.
obscuring as well.
I love that. I'm so glad that's a thing.
I was a fan. So Denise asked me earlier who might say top 3 would be. Who do you think will be 1, 2, like 1, 2, 3? Not necessarily any order for the big event.
For the big event,
Yeah.
jeez. God, that's a hard one. I actually really like Luke's list.
Yeah,
That is a solid
get
list.
some Black Templars
Yep,
in there.
I'm back on Luke. I actually really like your list as well. The mass canoptic with all the obsec.
You mean the Cuck Optic?
Yes, I've got to get that right.
The Cuck Optic Legion.
Yep. And then obviously got to back Liam.
Yeah, I had to back my boy too.
Yep, got to. As much as we hate to, we can't boost his ego too much.
It's my
We kind of have to.
husband, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So probably rolling out some shots here, I guess.
Looks
like a lot of dice being pulled around the top.
So these units put out a lot of shooting.
Yeah, it's 40 shots.
Yeah, and then he can vets, and then with prescience, and then shoot twice if he needs to. It's
Yeah,
a
so
lot of
Liam's
shooting.
got 120 shots coming his way, probably.
Yep.
280 of those with vets.
Yep. So I'll see how much damage he takes. I'm pretty sure that unit has a 5-up, feel no pain on it.
So feeling the pain at the top, neg 1 at the bottom, yeah.
Yep.
And the 4-up info. So,
It is pretty durable.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because Soli can't get ignore cover, can he?
No, he
There's
doesn't.
noise marines that ignore cover.
No. Yep, correct.
So those possessed have got a 2-up save, 5-up feel no pain, 2 wins each. But he got one.
And they're in cover. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 2-up
Yeah.
save.
Yeah.
It's- Yeah, sorry, Lee. So he's got. You can't see because it's the top of his head with his cap on, but apparently he's got his sad face on. the single manly tear. Luke's voice is a bit sore after streaming the first two, so I tagged in for him.
He's prepping for all the explaining tomorrow with how his list actually works. He's getting ready for all the explaining he has to do tomorrow about all his bullshit that he's going to do. Yeah.
Yeah, but
like-
Templars are bad, right?
Oh, they're terrible, man. Just so bad.
You missed it, but Brian's backing Liam, Luke, and me for.
Got to back my boys.
You're not backing yourself.
Nah, mate. I'm going to have 2 games and then I'm going to tank. Yeah. No. It's I've hit the top. I've Icarus. I've gone up and now it's back down.
Yeah, Liam, Brian versus Martino round 1.
Yep. We know this is exactly what's going to happen.
They've,
Yeah.
they've actually
Gonna call it.
grudged, so.
That's gonna be so bad.
Oh man, it's not going to be great.
So.
To be fair, today hasn't been great for me either. But yeah.
Few more bolters coming in.
See, I do find it funny that they possessed a leadership 11. So like, even if you kill 5 or 6,
That
It just-
shouldn't. The way that aura works shouldn't work.
oh, it shouldn't, but it does.
That's I said to Denitha, the problem with it is like it doesn't matter that he's only strength 5, neg 2, 1 damage. He's got the volume, and then he's got the
Yeah.
strats and the powers and the auras to
Yeah.
make it all. The
So-
conversion is just ridiculous. Like I played Liam last round.
Yeah.
He rolled 80 attacks on the 20 possessed and got 79 hits
Yeah, it's all the explosions that he can do.
with 3s with the rerolls.
Yeah, like exploding the hits, exploding the wins, or however he does it. Just like you can get 4 or 5 guys to end up with like 20 odd hits out of it. It's ridiculous.
So Harvey, if you're asking for Harvey Danger, there, if you're asking for the list, we've got Liam Hackett playing his 60 Wordbearer Slaanesh Possessed with the Slaanesh characters, the obligatory Master of Possessions for Cursed Earth, Prescience Warp Time Sorcerer, Dark Apostle for the +1 to wound strat and neg 1 to hit. Prayers, sorry, not strats, and then Celeste for the advance and charge auras, and then we have. Matt Mosroli playing Chaos Demons and Emperor's Children, so double Keeper of Secrets, the big lock with the neg 1 damage, 3-up save, 6-up feel no pain, 10 beasts and Nurgle, 3 Nurglings, and then 20 Emperor's Children Terminators with Combi Bolt and Lightning Claws. As we've already said, both took the same secondaries, so while we stand, minimise losses and raise banners, so
Very
Liam
cagey
hasn't-
style.
Yeah, Liam hasn't scored his banners. Oh no, he just went in.
Yep.
So Liam got first turn. Sorry, Liam got second turn. So it's probably going to come like the turn is the big thing.
Yeah.
Just scoring at the end of the turn for the second player means they can run out, especially with the speed that Liam has, and just tag that 15. and win by 5.
So how many possess did he actually lose? Seems like he lost a few.
Oh, I've probably got what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I can see 12 possessed in that top unit, but there might be a couple more
Couple
behind
hiding
the
behind,
building.
yeah.
So
Let's
I
see
mean,
what he does.
8. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see now if he throws something to try and like clean
Force
up
him.
the Wowie stands,
Yeah. Or does he just wait?
or does he just hold? What a bald spot. We can get more people's predictions.
Yeah.
What's your predictions, by the way, for the event?
For the event,
Yeah, the big event.
top 5:
Yeah,
Martino,
yeah,
Soli,
yep,
Liam,
yep,
and one of Brian and Luke.
yep.
Number 5, wildcard. Yeah.
Can you call Brian by his real name, please? Pythagoras?
Pythagoras. Yeah.
Pythagoras.
Harvey Danger. Lists are on Best Coast Pairings if you look up Uprising Adelaide Invitational.
That's America's ass. That's Australia's ball spot. Correct, Doug. Correct. So I think Liam's lost about 8 possessed out of the top unit.
Yeah, he the top unit, actually both units copped a fair bit of smite in Soli's last turn. So, yeah, interesting.
I think Liam's got to be careful. If he gets pushed too far back,
Yeah.
it might swing it to Soli.
Liam's going to be really careful with his coherency. I think he's taking models from the correct spots. He's got a few touch and cover you can see on most of the units. The reason for that is to take 2-up saves against the Storm Bolters or the Combi Bolters that come in from the Terminators. Which is good. I'd be really interested to see. Oh, I just want this to go to the 5th turn, don't you? I just want it to go straight to turn 5 and see what one of the players does.
It's moving pretty quickly. We're already
Yeah.
in
Are
bottom
we
of
on turn 3?
2. Bottom of turn 2.
Bottom of 2, yeah. Liam's moving into some psychic.
Yeah.
You got an ear on what he's saying anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Swalduck. Well, here's the thing. If nothing happens until bottom of 5, Liam can push.
Yeah.
That's a big issue and try and take out a while we stand, or try and get primary swing. Soli's playing this so well that he's screening the objectives with the big units like the Terminators, the Lock, and the Beast, and then he's got the OBSEC hidden behind there. So Liam can't actually reach the OBSEC for a charge. It's all really good because then what Soli set up is even if Liam hits turn 5, yeah, he'll still be a draw. So Matt's done that really well. The one that we have to be careful about is those Nurglings and Terminators right in the middle. If Liam can fly straight through that building and pick that up. Hayden, what happens in the event of a draw? It might go to battle points. I'm not 100% sure. We might have to read the pack.
Yeah, we'd have to
Yeah,
ask,
it might go to battle
Napier.
points. Yeah. Trial by combat. Soli versus Liam. I know who'll win.
Definitely Liam.
Just go Warlord v Warlord midboard. 1v1 mid.
Now imagine it would go to overall battle points.
Yeah, it'll go to battle points. Box on in the car park.
Do you want to be Liam's champion, Duck?
Imagine if they pick champions, mate. That'd be funny as.
To be honest, if it was a fight, I reckon Soli could pick Chelsea and she'd still beat Liam.
Duck, BRB getting on a plane. You got 2 hours and 36 minutes, Duck. That's about the time it takes to fly from Brisbane to Adelaide. All right, cool. So, Ben, what are your plans preparing for the round tomorrow? Are you going to have an early night, or are you going to send it?
Oh, it's never an early night when me and Liam share a bed.
It never is, mate.
Look, I'll have a bit of fun, but I won't get silly. I'm sure Duck will crack a couple open for me.
Like two seals fighting over a fish.
There's no fighting Liam left after 3 games of hobby. Bet Liam's cultists are really glad they came out today.
Oh,
for this
mate.
game. Just
Yeah,
sitting at the back there.
that's it, you know. Imagine if the game's decided by something silly like a Psycho barreling and solely double barreling it.
But didn't that happen to Liam in his first game? Didn't he take the mortal wound and then he cast the second powers and perils? Because he
Did it?
failed the first power
That's funny as.
and used a strat, and then perils and took 3 mortal wounds and blew himself up.
That's funny. But I think that strat counts the casting value as the lowest possible casting value.
Yeah, but you take the mortal wound.
Yep, but you don't take perils. Oh,
No,
are you
but
talking
then
about the
he
next
cast
spell?
the second
Ah,
power
that's funny.
and perils.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it killed the thing or if it just took like 3 wounds total.
Yeah.
But I think that happened.
And Michael, yeah, so Soli's moved his keepers out. More so, it's just a threat that he can dive when needed. So it's really interesting because right now it might actually be tricky for Liam to just cop all that shooting on that top side and then get hit by a keeper next round. You know, it might not be ideal. Because it's interesting because the keepers are not Soli's while we stand, the Terminators and the Lock are. So if we're slowly trickling down Liam's while we stand up top and then shoot a keeper up, that's pretty potent. And look at all those beasts on the bottom objective. Liam is not touching that. There is no way.
So it would be interesting if Matt moved that top unit, the one he's playing around with now, moved that up into the middle of the board to protect the Terminator unit.
That's it, right? If he body blocked that middle objective, exactly right, Ben, that would create a bit of a problem for Liam. But I think at this stage, Soli just wants concentration of bodies down there,
Yeah.
just so Liam can't snatch that late game. So we're seeing an absolutely brilliant game by Matt Morosoli here, showing that he's the chaos player for Australia. He knows what he's doing. Even in this matchup, he knows. And that's exactly right, Duck. If he can pepper those possessed, that might be enough. That might be enough.
Yeah, because it's 120 shots from the 2 Terminator units if you do Cacophony of Agony or whatever it is, the double shoot, Symphony of Agony.
Endless Cacophony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Axis of Entropy. Thank you.
Yeah, we are glad we got to
we're
come.
very lucky. Brisbane was nearly not allowed to come until about a week ago, so we are super lucky. And
I think it was last Friday when they said the 14-day quarantine was gone on Sunday, and there was a cry of jubilation.
And we're glad to be able to provide, some 40k content for those who can't play. So tune in. We've got 3 more days. 3 more days of awesome streaming. 8 rounds, and the lovely Adam Camilleri will be streaming them. So
Are they streaming 3 games from each round, or is it just going to be 1?
look, I think it might be the one. I don't think they'll do the 3, but that might
Might be
change.
3 on the first day, and as it
Yeah.
gets to the pointier end, they focus on the...
or maybe even as it gets to the point here, and we can pick out favourites. So we'll see how it goes.
So Soli's obviously scored another 3 points for banners.
Yep.
Keeper's just gone across the top. Ooh, Liam's having a...
So Axis of Entropy, currently there's only about 10 people in the big hall, but all the tables have been spaced 2 meters apart.
Looking at between 90 and 120 players
90 and
tomorrow.
100, probably about 90 to 100 to 90 to 110, yeah. And you know, we've got hand hygiene, and we're following all the COVID guidelines set aside.
We'll
by
have
the-
masks as
set,
well.
set by the state government. So, yeah, we definitely want to follow the rules and keep everyone as safe as possible. Yeah, and unfortunately, a few of the states couldn't come because they've got cases. But you know, Queensland, Victoria, South Australia, we're here. So
Western Australia's good as
Western
well.
Australia's, yeah.
We've
good.
got a guy from the Northern Territory.
Yes, yeah,
I think
he's
it was
playing.
really just New South Wales that, and some of the Queensland lads didn't.
That's
come.
it, yeah. Axis of Entropy, where are you commenting from, mate? Iron Chef Don Genie stuttering on Entrance Cacophony, the highlight of the stream so far. Tennessee, good to have you, mate, from across the globe.
So that looks like still a pretty big charge for that keeper, because it's
Yeah,
neg
man.
4 as well.
He's in a crater right now, so it's neg 4.
Because Liam's got the neg 2
Yeah.
icon, baleful
Waldock.
icon, I think it is.
Yes, yeah, Baleful Icon. Hayden Waldock, that's some yeehaw shit, mate. Well, here's the thing, Michael. He's got to take the ones in cover, right? Like, you can't have double the casualties. And he'll just move some other guys into cover later. But yeah, he's setting up that keeper. It's so tempting here for Liam to just dive, but he's got to do the right thing and play safe. Worst case, he could even swap out that full middle unit with the weaker one on the edge.
I think our predictions were pretty right for this. Like, the player 1 has to make the move.
Well, yeah, I mean, player 1 either has to make the move or
Yeah, so Flyers don't take the neg 2 for the crater. So the lock won't take a neg 2.
the keeper will, though.
The keeper will.
Yeah.
And then Liam, as I said, has the baleful icon. So all his units have neg 2 to charge.
Yeah, Soli is... Oh, he's creeping up. Look, even that one Terminator unit's coming in behind the lock. That Termi unit could even pull off a charge down the track. You know, a good Honor the Prince would go well right now. Oh, but he's spreading those 3 Nurglings so thin on that objective. Look at that.
Could also be trying to use the lock to bait as well.
Yeah, like, he's not killing the lock. But can you imagine Liam just shooting Possess down the throat there to take the banner off?
Yeah. Straight down the middle.
Because Liam's in an interesting position, because if you can see Soli, he's put Obsec sneakily between all his
Yeah,
tough models.
on the top and bottom, but
Yep.
not in the middle now.
That's not in the middle, it's just got them 3 Nurglings there. But Liam can't actually afford to do that on the top because of the Chaos Terminators.
Yeah.
The Terminators will just shoot down the Demonettes or the Cultists. So... yeah, so... it's an interesting situation there. So yeah, we're actually approaching the sticky end of this game, guys. So get your friends on. It's definitely looking like there's about to be a bit more action, and Soli is preparing for a bit of a swing. Even the beast down the bottom, you know, could start pushing up slowly. And just forming
As
a
I
wall
said
down the
before,
middle.
I think Soli moving forward and Liam moving backwards, like, Liam has to be careful not to move too far backwards,
Yep,
because then
100%.
the keeper, the lock, they get onto one objective, they take the banner down, and that swings it enough for Soli.
Mhm.
You do like a good sausage, don't you, Duck?
You know what's interesting as well? That keeper in the middle is just positioned to fight if anything comes near Soli's central or bottom objective. That keeper's there to start punching on as well. So
So Liam's not taking the guns from cover, he's taking the...
Yeah, and if Liam can sit in, get through that building as well.
See, because if that possession it does get taken off that objective, he can just move onto it in his turn to stop Solly from scoring 15, and then whatever's left can run behind the building so it can't get shot again.
That's
and
exactly
keep the wild
right.
stand.
That's exactly right. If he swaps out those possessed units, that'll be really good. Alex Terrison, good to see you on the stream, mate. Hope you're enjoying it. You got a few good days of 40k ahead of you, and yeah, like an Imperium list. I played Liam as well, mate. You did better than me. So
don't worry, Alex. I got diddled by them earlier as well.
You did all right, actually.
I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Like,
yeah.
I said to Liam, actually, psych him out. All like our last 10 tournament games, doesn't matter what we've been playing. It goes Liam wins, I win. Liam wins, I wins. Liam wins, I win. So if we play in the big event, I'll win.
You got it, mate.
Yeah.
You got it. Just don't count on an Imperium army to do that for you against Liam.
No.
It'll just fall on its head.
I'm going to sell Liam the Necrons.
Because that was interesting to see how that game with Jay would have gone if Jay stayed in, because those Inceptors do a little bit of damage, enough to scare Liam, but it's not enough, is it?
It's not enough.
No. Because if you look at Inceptors, right, if you're Chapter Master rerolling, and if you're picking up the 2s and 3s, you might be killing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Inceptors might be blowing themselves up. 30 shots, hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s. What's that? That's 17, 18 hits.
Yeah.
Winning on 2s, rerolling 1s. Let's say 18 saves.
Yeah.
9 failed through a 4-up, and then a 5-up feel no pain cuts it by about half. So you kill 4 to 5 possessed.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
It's pretty bad. And the Inceptors might lose 2 or 3 Inceptors for that.
Yeah, the only thing that really scares the possessed is big damage 3 stuff. So like Vanguard Vet Hammers.
Yeah, that's it.
And the problem with it is because he's got the CP to interrupt. Like I don't think there's much in the game. I can't think of anything on top of my head that will kill 20 possessed in one go.
Yeah, like
For a
the
4-up.
night list that Liam played round 1 actually had a really good shot at just spanking possessed, which is interesting. But yeah, you're 100% right. I mean,
and then so then you can't send 2 units in because the first unit hits, he takes those ones out of combat and then interrupts and kills your second unit.
Yeah. So that's the great thing about these big bricky units, that they're not necessarily OBSEC, but because they're these big bricks, you can't engage multiple units into it, can you?
And
Because
OBSEC doesn't matter if everything's dead.
Yeah, the classic Ben Warrior quote. The OBSEC doesn't matter.
Can't be
if it's
OBSEC
dead.
if you're dead.
Yeah, can't play the mission if you're dead.
Yep.
So, if you charge like multiple units in, like we saw in your game when Liam hit with that possessed unit and killed 6 spiders and like 3 wraiths, right?
Yeah, killed
Massive.
three. I got one back, which was cool.
Yeah, you got one of the wraiths back.
But yeah, three wraiths, 7 scarabs, and 5 spiders with a single unit of possessed.
Yeah. Michael, I'm not sure which one would be, but I'd be surprised if there are morale checks that are failing this game. We've got leadership 11 possessed.
Right, Liam lost 10 possessed in our game to morale.
Yeah.
Rolled a double 6.
Jeez, that's insane.
You leave Alex alone, Braydog.
Braden, you coming to the event? I saw your name was on the sheet. Might be not if he's watching.
Is it that?
No, yeah.
Is that that is Braden?
That's
right?
Braden, isn't it? Yeah, Braden Kilby Francis.
Yeah, look at the queen.
Nah, tragic, yeah.
Cucked again, Braden. Cucked again.
Oh, it sucks, Oh, good stuff, mate. Yeah. Oh, here it comes. Oh, this is the part we've been waiting for. Chipping away.
Shooting is doing too much damage.
Yep.
He's gonna lose if he doesn't commit now.
Yep.
But where he commits is interesting because he should just be hunting the red demons.
Yeah, okay.
Once the the terms do all the damage, and the red demons will points. So he's like,
No, the
Well,
termies
the
are
termies are the
points.
while we stands.
of course they are. So
Yeah.
it's just the key is the lock and the 2 terms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he picks up a termy bomb here, that's double. Yeah. The issue is he can't get to Soli's OBSEC.
So the top left, the one he's been eating at is minus 1 to hit. You missed that. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
But the termy bomb that's closest to him has got all buffs.
Yeah.
Flash green bomb.
I thought he might dive the 3 Nurglings.
He's actually diving the bottom of the exposed in the termies, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we need a clutch. About 35, 36.
39, yeah, cool. So, yeah, guys, get your mates on. This is the part that's going to be exciting. We're seeing two
So Liam-
Team Australia WTC players on a really tight defensive game, and now the play is coming.
Liam Rio needs this warp time to go off.
Oh, yeah, don't be anywhere near that Lord of Change, denying that warp time, guys. Do not be
I
anywhere
mean, it
near
looks
it.
still like a 7-8 inch charge there if he fails the warp time, but
Yeah.
you just don't want to risk that at all.
Yeah, I'm surprised if Soli could have been... Do you think Soli could have been a bit more aggressive with this Lord of Change just for the deny?
I don't know, because I don't know if
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if 20 possessed can they kill the Lord of Change?
Well, here's the thing. Even if they do, the 20 possessed are in a shocking position after
Yeah.
that. Because I actually think if Liam wants to play this defensive, he should swap those 2 units out. Get
Yeah.
that small unit off the objective, and get the big unit on there, buff up the big unit, ready to go, and then
Tell
it
you what,
stays
an
alive.
interesting play would be here is if he takes his sorcerer,
Hmm.
goes Chaos Familiar to get Death Hex,
Huge. Huge. Yep.
and then advances it in, takes the 3 up, fail the
Do you
power.
think a death
and
he can
then-
reliably do a death hex?
Yeah, because he fails the power and then auto cast it and it can't be denied with the CP.
Yeah. Wow. What a play.
You'd hope he'd fail it. You'd roll
Yeah.
to fail,
Yeah.
even CP like a 6 to or whatever,
Yeah.
and then go, I auto pass this. You're locked now. It no longer has a 3 up.
Huge. Huge. And the possess go in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then he only gets a 6 up, feel no pain. There's
Yeah.
no save. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge. That would be the biggest brain play. But that's a lot on the line, man. It's a lot on the line.
Yeah, it's 2 CP at least, potentially 3.
And you're taking out a prescience or a warp time.
And you're taking out prescience or warp time, and then you want to hope that you fail the power.
Yeah. Matt McCardle on the stream. Good to see you, mate.
Another normal bloke repping us at BVC.
Yeah. Good to see. So, Liam is really leaving that objective thin on the top, mate. I was expecting that 20-man possessed unit to swap out. Because, wow, if this does not go well, and Liam can't get to the obsec, or if a warp time fails or something,
Well, knowing Liam as well, when he was talking about what he was doing here, it's not the way, like, this defensive style is not the way Liam plays.
yes,
It's
that's
not
it.
the way he enjoys and the way he likes.
Yeah.
So
Michael, you can CP successful rolls, but he's probably where the lock is. He'd be silly not to put that, not to put the sorcerer outside of deny range of the Lord of Change.
yeah, but he can't. If he was doing if he wasn't doing the Death X play.
Yeah. Because if he touches those units and doesn't kill them fully and they get shots off at that possessed unit, or if that keeper comes around and finishes off that possessed unit, Liam might be in a bit of trouble.
Well, I don't think the keeper can physically do it on its own. I mean, I think what Liam's hoping here is that he
to touch both term units.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he'll charge both units and then touch the lock and touch the
Yeah.
top term. So kill the bottom termy unit
Yeah.
and touch the top termy unit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And touch the lock, because then the lock can't fall back and shoot. Its smite's going into those possessed. That's probably
Yeah.
got a 5 up, feel no pain on it.
Yeah. Because ideal situation here for Liam, perfect situation, kills the entire unbuffed term unit,
Yep.
and
Tags the
then
other unit.
touches the other unit and the lock, right? Because then the lock can't start casting unless it falls back. Yeah.
Well, it can't cast.
Oh,
it
the
before
possessed
it
are in. The possessed have got a warp time off. Huge. What are they doing near that objective?
Because Liam's also probably got the models to
Swing through.
Because like it takes like 2 possessed to kill those 3 Noglings.
Yep,
if he gets
that's it.
the max attack.
That's it. So he's probably getting ready for a next turn swing through.
Yeah.
But he's having to trail back so far. He's got to be. He might mess this up if he's within heroic intervention range. Though of that Lord of Change, he might not have the distance to touch those Terminators. So he has to be really careful with this heroic.
Well, what you'd hope is you charge both, because the lock's got no shooting attacks, right? So you can base the lock so it can't move with one dude, and then you can wiggle between.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, and you don't have to worry about 5 first or anything. So that's fine. Yeah, cool. Something's happening here. Was that a deny from Soli? Maybe some casts going off.
That looked like a big roll.
Yeah, so Soli's denying some powers. So definitely we had warp time go off, but the possessed
Something
it
happened.
got a power
That's the
going off.
+1 to reroll wounds. A reroll
Yep.
ones to hit and wound. That's the small. I know that bit.
A small tag, yeah. So is the feel no pain on? Do you know? Is that the big tag?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And he's still keeping in Celeste
think
Sora
Soli-
and the 4-up in Vora.
Soli's just said he's going to Overwatch. Heard that.
Yeah, good man. And he can't set to defend because he's not fully within the ruin. Yeah, so Liam's rolling his charge.
Looks like he's made it.
He's made it, yeah.
Be interested to see
He's
if he
fighting through the
tags
barricade. or
that
just
lock.
tagging, yeah.
Yeah.
Some good chat. Some good chat going on with the Brisbane players. Getting ready for that Bris Vegas event. Awesome. But, alright, let's see. This fight phase. So good.
This is gonna be. I think this will be the deciding
Yeah.
fight phase.
That's it.
Although I do like that Death Hex play. Because it's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
5
we'll
points
see.
that Sully's almost going to be definitely counting on, and like
Yes.
it could.
It's really interesting. One thing Liam can do here is push out in a line, hit, take casualties in the middle, leaving one guy back at home
Yeah.
for the defensive buffs,
Yeah.
and then take him at the end of the turn for the coherency check. However, I think he wants his 4-up invo. I think he still wants it off the MPOS.
It depends how much he kills here.
Just for the lightning claws. Because he's going to have to touch a full unit Terminators.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But they're quite. They're quite. I think Sully would get maybe half, maybe 6 or 7
maybe,
to hit.
maybe, you're right, yeah.
And they didn't get charged, so they're not going to be getting their extra attack.
That's correct, yeah, that's correct. So if there's a turn to watch, ladies and gentlemen, this is the turn.
There's a
This-
phase
this
to watch. This
phase
is the phase
to watch, yeah, this is the phase. We're having some discussion
They're
about the
talking
stratagem.
about the Celeste strat.
Yeah, so we might have a TO call on the stratagem here.
Yeah, Liam won't take this line down. So just to let you know, guys, what they're talking about is the Locus of Grace strat, which is a Slaanesh Demon strat, which is wounds of 6 explode. So when Liam's got the +1 to wound, that goes to a 5 because it's not unmodified yet because it's an old codex, and that procs off Celeste. But obviously the Demon FAQ says that Demon strats only affect Demon units. Argument can be made that the strat affects Celeste, and then that gives an aura that affects
Cool.
Slaanesh Demon units which possessed are. So
I guess as streamers, Ben, we will let the TO handle this.
Yeah.
We can't be making the call on this.
no, I'm just explaining.
But
the-
yes, it
Stating the facts,
it definitely...
not making an opinion.
Yeah, so I know it's definitely contentious.
That's alright. Duck has
yeah.
an opinion. That's all.
Yeah, it's definitely
Odelay
contentious
Samic,
online
I
as well.
think he decided not to Overwatch. The CP dice got put back.
Yep,
Um,
okay.
Be interesting to see how many dice Liam rolls here.
Tio says yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I actually knew that Tio had already said
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it was clarified.
Says no in the chat, care.
Yeah. I mean,
So Liam does have the exploding 5s to wound, do extra hits. Do extra attacks, sorry.
Yep.
Tio has said yes.
Yep, fair enough.
Looks like he's got 4 attacks per model there. So he got 4 attacks per model there. He's got the +1 attack from his Warlord trait as well.
Yeah, what do they think about the...
Duck doesn't like it.
I don't like it either, but Navy ruled it that way, so what do you think? Doesn't matter. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Well, I mean, if you can take rules as written so many ways, does that mean the double peril strat doesn't affect your opponent because your opponent's not a demon's unit? Yeah, so
It opens
Yeah.
opens a bad can of worms.
yeah, it really does. So, I mean,
Although I feel like not Denise. I feel Denise taking a lot of soup out of 40k. No, I feel like GW is moving away from soup
yeah.
lists.
So this will be clarified in future, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely will be clarified. Yeah, so okay, so we've got some information. The players have chatted. Liam said he's not using the strat if it's going to cause contention. So cool, cool. Yeah,
Good on him though. Like,
He was going to kill him anyway.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it doesn't make a difference. Yeah. Yeah, cool. I mean,
look, I think in regards to the chat, I think there's an argument either way, but it's up to the TO and the players. So
yeah,
TO
like
said yes, but
I'm
Liam
not
has-
familiar with it, guys.
yeah,
so-
Liam has said no.
Yeah.
Liam said he's not going to do it. So it doesn't matter.
Cool.
So some Terminators being pulled here. How many do we... Is that full squad gone? No? like
yeah,
one guy
man,
left.
that's like the good part of the squad. I don't see an auto pass coming in. So yeah, yeah. I'll have to read the FAQ after this.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah,
This is South Australia. FAQs don't apply.
In this
the
tournament,
wild, wild west, mate.
in this tournament, Napier is God.
Lee, it only works if it's in my list and I'm trying to do it.
Classic Victorian players.
Was that a
I
hand?
think that was a lot of feel no pain rolls from Solly there.
But was that a handshake?
Did you? They just called it.
Yeah, Soli called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Just from the damage and tagging that unit, right?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Oh, sorry.
That is my
Yeah.
professional opinion.
Yeah. So it looks
All I
like
know is
Soli's called the
you
game.
wanna call it, mate?
Yeah.
Handshake that in.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was, yep, so it's tagged the unit, tagged the lock, which means the unit can't shoot, can't engage, there'll only be the keeper going in. There's a handshake. It looks like the game's going to Liam, so scores will be in shortly. I wouldn't actually mind getting one of the players in.
Yeah, I'll go get
having
him.
a chat if you can. Yeah, thanks, Ben. Any questions, chat, for the players? Please point them out. Yeah, game's called.
Good call, they can see it.
Yeah, cool.
Bit disappointing, but with Liam.
With Liam, Camilleri. Yeah, so we got
Hello, ladies
Captain
and gents.
Camilleri.
How you doing?
Captain Commentary.
So, with news straight from the floor,
Mm-hmm.
Soli's of the opinion that with him going second and losing both of those, the game was over. Also, him going first, apologies.
Yep.
I suppose that's the power of going first now. It's sorry, going second. I think it's too strong. Yeah, I think it's too strong. Like, so Brian lost by 5 when he went first.
Huge.
I
Yep.
lost by 2 because I went first.
Yep.
Well, not because I went first, but when I went first.
It's so impactful.
And now Soli's packed it in possibly early because he feels like he can't win because he went first.
You know what it's like? It's like the old ITC plus ground
I
control.
think, I think he called it too early. I think he had a lot of opportunities to still win this game. He did need some spikes, but it was going to be really hard from there. And man, how messed up is that? Like one unit of possessed that didn't roll a bunch of attacks, they rolled medium for attacks.
Yep.
Kills 20 Terminators. One of them that was fully buffed with every possible buff that CSM can have.
Nice.
And it wasn't even close. It wasn't particularly
No.
close. He overkilled both squads.
Yep.
Like
Both
Yeah.
squads of Termies. Wow.
he just over.
With 11 possessed.
Yep.
11 to 1, 7
Yeah,
to another.
only 11 possessed, by the way. He was able
Yep.
to string back all the way back to all his
Amazing.
buffs and just wasted both.
Spike was the 4, killed the squad with Phil No Pain.
It's turn 3, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the bottom of turn 3.
Do you want to hop on Liam and chat to Adam about this?
No, dude, you guys do it. You've been holding this down the whole time.
No, I don't, man, I've never won this event in my life.
Congratulations. Good. Awesome. So, this game, obviously, before the game, we had a little chat. I knew the secondaries you were going to pick.
Yep.
While we stand banners and minimize losses. And it looks like Soli picked the
He picked the exact same, and the funniest part about it was not even just the same, in the same order as well.
Yeah.
So the score sheet looked exactly the same.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Awesome work. Now, what did you think? You got the obvious big advantage going second, right?
Yep.
You can make a play.
Yep.
What were you thinking when Soli was making that little push up top?
So To be perfectly honest, like looking back on it, the problem is that of course my possessed units are a while we stand, so are his. So when he had both units of Terminators next to each other, it was kind of too juicy a target for me to sort of consider. The weird thing about the Terminators is they don't actually kill possessed that well. So the moment there were 2 units of Terminators next to each other, it was essentially like I must dive, like I have to sort of commit to actually do something. And when I got both units of Terminators, that was pretty rough. Of course, it's 10 while we stand,
Yep.
and even if he retaliates and kills my while we stand,
Yep.
it's only 5 points to 10. That just
Yes.
wins me the game anyway because we're going to
Okay.
tie otherwise. I think one of the problems is that he was using his Terminators to do the damage he needed to do.
Yep.
But because of the way cover works this edition and it's not whole units, I can just put 5 to 6 possessed per unit
And you're
in
taking
cover.
2 ups, aren't you?
Yeah, and I didn't
Yeah.
realize, but his autocannons are only 1 damage. I
Yeah.
actually thought they were 2. So of course I'm taking so many 2-up saves.
Yeah.
I'm Terminators as well, essentially.
Nice.
That the bolt guns do nothing. What was actually killing my models was smites, bolt of change,
That's it.
whatever the Slanesh power is. That's roll a dice for every model in the unit.
Yep.
That was his damage dealing.
Yeah.
But he wasn't relying on that. He was relying on the Terminators. I
Yes.
think he actually put his CP and his priority somewhere else.
I see,
And I
yeah.
think that and it was bottom of 3, and he'd killed 11 possessed total.
Yeah, okay.
And it was like he realized he had to come forwards a bit.
Yep.
And as soon as he did, he got punished for it a little
Yep.
bit.
No, for sure. And we saw you losing possessed to the top. I actually thought you were going to swap those units out, but you
Yeah.
went for the big play to go for the Terminators. Wow, 20 Terminators down.
Yeah,
I heard
from 11 possessed.
from 11 possessed. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it obviously like I can prescience them, so I'm hitting
Yep.
on 2s. I can get full rerolls to hit.
Yep.
But I can also do a psychic power for reroll hits and wounds of 1.
awesome.
So I'm hitting and wounding on 2s
Yep.
with reroll hits and wounds of 1. So it's 100% conversion essentially.
Yep.
And on top of that, I'm damage 2.
Yep.
So I made the unit of 10 Terminators do 38 saves,
Yeah, you
and
just pick them up.
and then
Yeah.
I made the unit of 10 with Delightful Agonies do 30. Sorry, I made him do 30 flat.
Yeah, okay.
And obviously that kills him because he
Yeah,
failed 15, and then I think Solly got very unlucky with his armor saves. He failed like almost 100% of the 4-ups.
Yeah, okay.
But to be honest, the unit should probably still die from 15 from
Yep.
the 20-something saves I made him do.
Yeah,
I forget
okay.
what it was.
Now, in that last fight phase, did you use the demon strat to buff them to?
No.
Okay, cool.
So
Yeah.
before this event, I spoke with the TOs regarding using the stratagem Locus of Grace.
Yep.
From using on Slanesh Demon Chaos Space Marine units.
Yep.
Because there's an FAQ that says, of course, Chaos Demon stratagems cannot affect Chaos Space Marine units.
Yep.
That stratagem isn't affecting Chaos Space Marine units. It's affecting a Slanesh Demon character, and
Okay.
it grants that character an ability.
I see.
That
Okay.
ability then
Yep.
affects the Chaos Space Marine units.
Okay.
And whilst I understand the TOs at this event allowed that,
Mm-hmm.
that there have been other events that have not allowed that. So in this game, I did not use that. In
see.
fact, I haven't used it at all so
Okay.
far because I thought it'd be a bit contentious.
Okay.
Solly and I had a bit of a discussion about it, and I knew it was going to be a bit of a sore point, so that stratagem wasn't used.
Okay, I
Didn't
see.
use it.
So even without that stratagem, the possessed just went straight through the Terminators. Wow.
I got pretty lucky to kill the unit with Delightful Agonies,
Yep.
but the other unit, the unit that wasn't buffed, should always have died.
Yeah, yeah.
And that sort of luck spike, I think, made Solly concede the game a little bit early. I think as well.
Yeah, that makes sense because that's 2 while we stands, and that's a lot of his ability to control that area,
Yep.
isn't it? Yeah, cool. Well done, man. Congratulations.
Thanks very
you
much,
got the
dude.
Open. How are you feeling for the Open?
Well, now I want to go sleep for a year.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's really unfortunate. So
No,
that's
good
not very
stuff.
good.
Do you know if Solly wants to have a chat, or is he?
I'll
packing up?
ask him, man.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
go.
yeah. See, he's already been on a couple of times, so it's okay if he hasn't. Yeah, sorry about the mic, guys. I think we fixed that up halfway through. I accidentally clicked mute. But yes, bottom of turn 3, they called it. So really, really cool stuff. An interesting game. Awesome. We'll see if Solly wants to jump on. Awesome. So for all of you guys who were with us the whole day, thank you for tuning in. We've got really good viewership. Me and Luke, it was our first time running the whole stream, so I hope we delivered to your standards. You have the lovely Adam Camilleri for the next 3 days streaming the Open, and you're going to see some really cool games. You saw the Masters today, and you're going to see some really cool stuff with some other players from different states and tomorrow as well. And yeah, some sick sponsors. So thank you to Knights of Dice, the awesome terrain, and Smoky Pastures running the catering for the event. Best Coast Pairings. giving us the good stuff, making us a sponsored event, giving everyone access to the list to follow along. Thank you so much for that. Dragon Lane, a sponsor of the channel, thank you for your support. And I've got to shout out the Normal Blokes podcast, who I'm a part of, a competitive 40k podcast. Dedicated to improving the competitive 40k experience. Chelsea just rolled in and just said never heard of him. So I got to stick a TNB after my name, mate. That might help. But yeah, thank you guys. I think Soli is packing up and he's ready for some bed. So thank you for paying attention to the stream. Have a good evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.